Her Creative Space presents Talk Author to Me, featuring Courtney and Clarke Collins, the authors of In the Name of Honor. First question: did any of the characters change and develop differently when you actually started writing the first book? Courtney's response: I'll let Clarke chime in with his own answers, but for me, two characters come to mind right away: Dimitar and Rawl. Courtney goes on to say, with Dimitar, he started out too good, too much of a hero. He really didn't have any flaws, and at one point I realized that I didn't really connect with him or feel for him. So we gave him a bit of a temper, a swing first, reflect later sort of vibe, and a buttload of daddy issues. And by love, he comes into the hero he's meant to be. What started out as a kind of flat MMC becomes this really lovely character. With Raoul, believe it or not, the whole cheese bit with him was relatively last minute. It came from a good friend of mine who beta read Honor, and she said, I love Raoul and I just want to mother him and feed him all the best cheese. And we joked about it, and I threw it in at some point. We have a cheese thief, and people only focused on that one aspect. So we leaned into it a little more, and in the final draft, before the publication deadline, Clarke's response: I feel like most of the character changes happened with the side characters, who went from the plucky comic relief or the mysterious messenger to full blown people with backstories and a voice very different from the main characters. They evolved from the background into the forefront and became fan favorites, and honestly, author favorites as well. Clarke goes on to say, and we also discovered at a certain point that we could have them do things that the main characters wouldn't, which allowed us some freedom to dial things up to 11 without feeling like the moment would be too out of character. For example, some of Olaf's best lines were created because it's what we as the authors wanted to say, but Dimitar or Kalila would never say such a thing. I'm your host, Amanda, and thank you so much for watching the first installment of Talk Author to Me.